Halo, selamat datang kembali di new episode of Design Stalk. Yang keempat, kita sekarang akan berada di tempatnya Malka. Kita akan berbicara lebih tentang furniture yang didesain di Indonesia, diproduksi di Indonesia, dan tapi aiming untuk pasar bukan hanya Indonesia tapi di luar negeri. Bersama saya sekarang sudah ada DJ as representative of Malka di sini. Kita akan berbincang lebih lagi dan mengenal lebih lagi apa itu Malka dan Materium di episode ini. Okay, DJ, so it's a pleasure to meet you here.
Thank you for visiting us in our home.
Yeah, so can you tell us where are we now?
We're in Cikarang. This is our newest home. It's about an hour outside of the city, and yeah, we've been here for about 22 years.
22 years, wow. So this is actually my first time here, going out from Jakarta. And guess what? I'm in my happy place because this is a perfect, you know, it's a factory with a good product design, you know. So yeah, tell me about Malka. Tell me about the history about Malka. What is Malka and how you guys started?
The history of Malka actually goes back pretty far. The factory itself, the company itself was started in 1974.
Yeah.
Which I've told you is not so long ago.
Yeah.
The factory was started in 1974. And it was originally designed as a support facility for our sister company, which sells office furniture, office equipment, stationaries and things like that. So it was designed more to support them.
Okay.
And that's where we started in 74 in Pulau Gadung.
Yeah.
Then over the years, over time, we've added new facilities, we've added new capabilities, new machineries, new skills.
Yeah.
To bring us into newer markets, to bring us into create new products that we weren't designed to make in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's really opened up new doors to us along the way and brought us to where we are now.
Yeah. Okay, that's very interesting. So can you tell us more about the facilities over here? You know, what do you have, like all the division machinery? What are you guys doing here? Can you tell us more about this facility?
Our facility is based around our core strength. Our core strength is steel, is working with metals. And the periphery to that we've added to over time, we've added woodworking, we've added upholstery, we've added our own finishing line. So we try to keep as many of the things the essential components of what we do are made in-house, but is still designed around, as you'll see behind us here, our main strength, our core here is our steelworks.
Okay, so if I can ask you about this, how many division of production do you have in here?
Quite a few different divisions as production. That's more for our manufacturing style, not particularly how all factories are laid out. It's our divisions on where we choose to divide things based on the steps of the production process that have already gone through. So I can't say how ours compares to other facilities that you may have been to, but ours is I like to think ours is pretty straightforward and pretty easy. Try to make it as simple as possible.
Yeah, so I heard about a story that Malka is working with a well-known brand from local and from outside the country, usually from the European brand like BMW. So they are more concerned about the precision, about the quality of the product, and then how they translate the drawing into a real object. So can you tell us more about the experience that you have with a group brand like BMW?
BMW specifically was a very, it was a learning experience for us. So it was a very long process to become approved to be an official manufacturer for BMW. But along the way, we learned a lot about the quality standards that European products are made to, particularly for BMW. BMW has a very, very high standard. So it really made us reevaluate what we do, how we do things, and what we need to adjust, not only for products that we make for BMW, but how can we apply those standards to the other products that we make as well.
So I have to say, Malka has great influence in the local design industry, especially in Indonesia. Looking at your collaboration with Domicilium Studio, Santi and Humphrey. Shout out to Santi and Humphrey. Creating a great product such as Materium. And I really want to know the design philosophy behind it, because I think, in my opinion, Materium is one of the first local brand designed in Indonesia and produced in Indonesia, but it really can be, widely accepted around the world. Can you tell us more about the design philosophies and the design process and until you create the product?
The design process, the design philosophy. First off, it was really an honor to work with Domicilium, working with Santi and Humphrey. It was an absolutely wonderful experience. We can see the result of what came of it. But when we approached Santi and Humphrey, and we said, this is our first time making our own brand. We've spent the majority of our life making products for other brands, for other labels. This is our first time to do it ourselves. This is our baby. So it really has to be something that's special. It has to be something that really shows what we can do as a factory, but at the same time, combined with a collaboration with Domicilium, it can show what Indonesia can do and what Indonesian designers can do. So the product was designed, developed, and manufactured completely here. So we approached them with really no design constraints at all. The design is entirely from them. What we only said that we were looking for is something that would show the capability of what we can do. Give an example of things that can be made from primarily steel that don't have a steel feel. And also create a family of furniture that, of course, is at home in this market, but if we take it to another market in Europe or North America or where have you, it will look perfectly at home there. The design will be on par, the quality will be on par, the product itself, the function and everything it needs to be will be exactly where it will need to be to work in perfectly with those big European well-established brands. So that was really, we tried to give them very little guidance because they're very good at what they do. We're good at what we do. What we do is build things. And the design from them is amazing. So overall, the experience with them was fantastic.
So I think when I first look at the Materium product, it's actually, there's a range where you can use this product in the office. But at the same time, when you put this into your home, it doesn't feel so awkward. So can you tell us, is this something that you guys trying to do to put in the office to home and home to office?
Well, you're exactly right. That is exactly what we were going for with this. Because we are traditionally known as an office furniture company, but we saw a lot of potential for moving slightly outside of the office. And that potential became a realization that some of the products that we're making can easily lend themselves, or this design in particular, was designed to fit somewhere between what could be used in office, but also could be used at home. So it's really for the in-between. Comfortable in office pieces, works well into a lounge, but also these would work fine at home.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's perfect. The ergonomic, the material and everything is really suitable for home.
Yeah, so we really want to push the limits of what we've done before and go well beyond offices, see what else is out there, see what other potential is, or see what other opportunities are available.
Okay, so regarding the color is also interesting. You use so many bright colors. Office space usually using a furniture that is more corporate color. It's more boring, more stiff. But this one you infuse more color, so the color is like more playful. It gives you more energy and vibe inside the office. It is something you're intended to do?
Yes, exactly right. That is really what we're going for. We want something that is much more approachable, much more comfortable, much more easy to be around, that doesn't feel like work. It doesn't have that work environment. So it's something that's still productive and still effective for what it's designed to do, but it doesn't have the feel that it's work. So it's The colors are meant to be inviting, something that would feel appropriate for an office, but also it would look fine at home too.
Yeah. So I think it's really suitable in the market preference now, when they want the office to be more playful, especially with growing as a co-working space. It's really changed the way you shape how you work environment, the Google Office, the Facebook, and the Apple. I mean, with this, you can create a really good vibe. Bring good energy and creativity to your team. I think it gives a very good psychology effect for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It really creates a much different environment. It's not so serious. It's not so kaku sebenarnya.
Yeah.
And that really, it has an effect on creativity. It has effect on relationships, on how people interact with each other. Yeah. We want something that invites that makes people feel open and more comfortable with what they're doing, comfortable with the people they're around, everything, the whole environment.
Okay, so we dig deeper into the categorization of the product of the Materium. How many product category do you have? Like a sofa, like a table lamp, a floor lamp.
Yep.
I even see like a mini bar cart and everything.
We have a trolley.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few of the products that developed from this project were a little unexpected.
I can tell.
But we had a lot of fun with it along the way. At the moment, there's about 35 different products in the lineup.
Yeah.
Ranging from the sofas we're in now, coffee tables, things that are a little more leaning on the house side, and then going all the way to the other side, which is system furniture for an office, more linear lighting, not only the floor lighting. So we tried to hit as many things as possible, but mainly through doing it through having components that fit well together.
Yeah.
So we don't have exclusively an office part of what Materium is. We don't exclusively have a lounge side of Materium. We don't exclusively have a home side. We have things that can be combined in different ways to fit to different applications.
Okay, now I believe creating a product is not an easy task. There's a lot of effort to do, from concept to design, the philosophy behind it, trying to make an idea draft, sketches, and then giving you guys into R&D on what you can and what you cannot, applicable in the creating the furniture, and then the end, a prototype until a final product.
Yep.
So can you tell us more? What is your, the design process with Domicilium when you're creating this Materium product?
The design process with Domicilium was, as far as I'm concerned, relatively painless, which is unusual as far as design concerned. But it was a long process, but I think that was actually a benefit. I think that was to our benefit. I think that was a benefit to the product. So from when we contacted Domicilium to when we were ready to launch with the finished product was about 18 months.
Wow.
Which is a long time, but keeping in mind that this is our first baby.
Yeah.
This is our first venture into our own private label, into our own product. So this is really going to be representative of what we're doing.
Yeah.
This is our first face that we're putting out. So there were a lot of steps in the process that we had to make sure that, okay, this isn't good enough. It has to be good, not good enough. We had to make that distinction, and I think taking the time to do that is really what made Materium is what it is, and it also is more representative of what we are. So I think that taking that time and going through the revision and the revision and the revision are essential. They're very important steps to go through. Yeah. So I'm happy with the time that we spent to make it happen.
Yeah. So how do you match your expectation between the designers and the manufacturers? Sometimes designers have the ego of creating the product, in a particular way.
Really?
As far as I know, I'm a designer myself. But the manufacturer also having some limitation, into realizing the product itself into a real product. So how do you manage to meet your expectation between the manufacturer and designer?
The answer to that is by working very closely with the designer. So the designer came to know us, and we became to know them very intimately. They know exactly what our capabilities are.
Yeah.
You know, they know what we took a lot of that time making sure that they understood that we understood each other,
Yeah.
to make sure that what they're designing and what we can do meet in the middle,
Yeah.
to manage expectations, to make sure that we're getting what we need and they're still able to get the design that they're looking for, you know, with the products that we can make, with the capability that we have. And really with the going on the aspect of wanting to produce something that does not look like it came from a metalworking factory,
Yeah.
that's exactly where we are. And that's what we were going for, and that's what they were able to deliver. So we're very, very happy about that.
Okay, talking about the colors and the finishing, is it the designer rights to do it? Is it something that you involve into it?
Colors
Yeah.
is entirely from the designer.
Black, yeah. If it's going to be DJs solely design,
It'd be all black.
Be all black, black on black.
No, the colors were entirely from. Actually, I can go back a little bit, because part of managing those expectations
Yeah.
and knowing what we can make and what their design they're looking for, it also involves a pretty high level of trust.
Yeah.
So we had to know that we could trust Domicilium when they say, hey, these are the colors that we picked out, these are the designs that we picked out because of these reasons. We have to trust them that they're right. So we established that trust, and we're happy with it. You know, we're thrilled with the colors that they've picked out. So how they go together and how they can create an environment that has those feelings of getting people involved, that are welcoming, that are making people comfortable.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we were looking for.
Okay, so can you tell us more about the finishing that you are using in here? What kind of method of finishing? Color over here, you know, from the fabric, and the metalwork over here.
Yeah. All the metal finishing is done by powder coat.
Yeah.
Now, a few years ago, we made the decision to shift all of our painting to powder coat, away from wet coating.
Yeah.
Now, we did that for a few reasons, environmental reasons, economy reasons, but a lot of it is the durability of a powder coat enables us to deliver a much higher quality product.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the fabrics are all locally sourced.
Yeah.
The HPL is locally sourced, the paint is locally sourced. So in keeping with our mission of designing something that is from top to bottom, from A to Z, made in Indonesia, that's what we kept that in mind all the way through.
Very nice. So this is a very highly, you know, quality of finishing you have. Because I remember when I started, you know, building a bike, because it's one of my hobby now. I tend to use some wet spray paint for my bike frame. Can easily peel off. But with this kind of a finishing, it's actually very durable. Yeah.
Yes.
It's very durable. It's scratch resistant, and it can go over time without losing any color. So I'm very happy that Materium in here and Malka is using a very good quality product, and it's not compromising. Because the design process and the quality of the process is the product is your main key feature for your product. Wow. Let's have a drink first, DJ.
Please.
Wow, we've been having a lot of, you know, information from you, and Malka is really, you know, precious information for us and also the viewer, not only designers, maybe to all who wants to build their home and everything. And then my next question is, how do you think that we can uplift the design industry, especially product design industry in Indonesia, to be more driven to create an original design, to create a good product, not compromising with any kind of value that, you know, trying to pull back producing a good design, and to be well accepted worldwide?
I think the Materium program is a good example of the potential and the capability of Indonesian product designing. I never had a doubt with that. And I think that is something that is only going to grow. But my personal belief on what drives these things, on what is going to drive good design and what is going to make these things come forward and be successful, is being passionate about it. I can't stress how important that is. That's believing in what you're doing, believing in the product you're making, believing in the people that are making it.
Yeah.
These are all things that add a life to the products that you're trying to promote, that you're trying to show, that represent who you are. So it's passionate, being passionate about what you're doing. If you have a love for what you're doing, if you don't love what you're doing, you should probably be doing something else.
Yeah.
So it's having that engagement and involvement and being a part of what you're making. So, we have, even not making the design, but as a manufacturer, I feel a connection with these pieces that I made. It's our first baby. So it's putting in the time and the sweat and the tears and making something and putting before people and saying, this is us, this is what we did.
So passion is very important. You gotta love on what you're doing, not compromising, and then really believe in your team to create a good product. That's a very good tip. Okay, DJ, now I believe you are a furniture manufacturer.
Yes.
Not only in office, you can probably manufacture some furniture for home. But I want to ask you really a personal question. When you buy someone's furniture to fill up your home, or probably to fill up your office, you probably end up buying some other brand furniture.
I won't admit that.
Knowing that you know all the behind process and everything, the quality and all the products, what is the tips that you are going to share to our viewer now? The tips on how to choose the right furniture with the right price and a good design.
For me, if I may be looking for furniture outside, maybe. Because
everything is possible.
Everything's possible. To a degree. If I were looking for furniture outside, the first thing that strikes me as the impression of a piece of furniture is how it feels. A lot of people go for look or put design first. Well, as a non-designer, as a manufacturer, I'm going to see how it feels. I'm going to see, hey, is this, does it have weight to it? Does it feel strong? Does it feel solid?
Yeah.
Does it feel like something that is going to last, that's going to be a good investment is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So most important for me is how does something feel? Does it feel secure? Does it feel solid?
So as we know, everyone has a hero. Me as a designer, I have a designer hero, and then maybe architect hero. But personally for you, who is your hero?
Hero I can get to, as far as designers or architects that I would admire most. My background, where I come from, has a lot of attachment to Mies van der Rohe, so that's always been very prominent for me. But for when you say hero, I would have to say my father, in the sense that he, in a lot of senses, but specifically for what we're talking about, he was the one that taught me the importance of making something well. So he was not a designer. He wasn't a manufacturer, but he expressed to me how important it is that if you're going to do something, you do something right. You do it right. You make it to last. One of the things that he relayed to me is that in the late 50s, early 1960s, he was working with a very small company called Herman Miller in Michigan and supplying them with material. And he told me that at the time, he said, some of the things they were making, I just didn't understand at all. But, he still saw that that's what taking simple materials and making things that are beautiful. And making things that are designed to last for generations. So, and I think that's something that he's passed to me as well.
If we want to see your product, where we can visit your showroom and where we can buy your product material.
Okay, for the sales part.
Yeah, for the sales part.
For the sales part. So we have a few showrooms around the city. We have our Vastu Home showroom in Pakubuono. We have a Malka showroom in JDC. And of course we have our showroom here at the factory. But for sales, online sales is exclusively with Kisarua. Yes.
So if you guys want to find the online shop for Materium, you can find it in Kisarua. But the rest, you can see and experience the product in the showroom that is mentioned before here. Okay, there's a couple of showrooms that we have over here, and we cannot wait for you to experience the goodness of the design, the uniqueness and the quality of the design of Materium, and put it in your place, either in your office and in your home. Is that right?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Thank you very much, Miki.
Thank you
Good
very
to see you.
much. This is a very pleasant talk, especially it's a wonderful facility in Malka. So we are looking forward for your next step, producing a new product, original product, designed in Indonesia, made in Indonesia, and for us all worldwide. Okay? Thank you very much, DJ.
Thank you,
Pleasure to
Mickey.
meet you. Wish you a very, very, very successful journey ahead.
Thank you. Good luck with Kisaruan.
Okay, thank you very
Thank you.
much. So, thank you for watching Cikarang Design Stalk with Materium. And we are going to meet you again on a new episode and a new vendors and new knowledge for you to explore. For now, we have to say goodbye. Ciao.